Under the blazing sun at Arlington, the tomb guard stood like a statue, his boots clicking 21 steps in perfect rhythm. But Judge Callahan saw something that stopped him cold, a glint of silver at the guard's collar, a cross that didn't belong. "Take it off, soldier," he demanded, his voice slicing through the crowd's murmurs. The guard didn't flinch, didn't speak, his eyes fixed on some distant point. To the tourists, he was just a soldier caught breaking the rules. To Callahan, he was a challenge to justice itself. But what no one in that crowd or the courtroom waiting the next day could have guessed was that this silent tomb guard wasn't just a sentinel. He was a decorated lawyer with a secret that would turn the judge's world upside down. And the truth was about to march into court with a colonel's stars to back it up. Before we dive into this story, where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe that values like honor, courage, and sacrifice still matter, join us in keeping their legacy alive. The autumn sun hung low over Arlington National Cemetery, casting a golden glow across endless rows of white headstones. A gentle breeze stirred the leaves, but the silence here was profound, broken only by the sharp, rhythmic click of polished boots against stone. At the tomb of the unknown soldier, a sentinel from the Army's 3rd Infantry Regiment, known as the Old Guard, marched with unwavering precision. 21 steps, a pause, a crisp turn, and 21 steps back. This was sacred ground, a place where America honored its fallen, and the tomb guards were its living symbols of duty. Among the crowd of visitors stood Judge Callahan, a 60-year-old federal judge from Washington, D.C. His silver hair gleamed under the sunlight, and his tailored gray suit set him apart from the tourists in their jeans and hoodies. Callahan had come here seeking solace after a grueling case that had made headlines for its bold ruling on civil rights. He admired the discipline of the tomb guards, seeing in their ritual a reflection of the order he strove for in his courtroom. But beneath his polished exterior, Callahan carried a wound that had shaped his life, the memory of his mother, clutching a cross as she battled cancer, promising that faith would save her. It hadn't. At 15, Callahan had turned his back on religion, embracing atheism with the same conviction he now applied to the law. As he watched the sentinel, something caught his eye, a faint glint at the guard's collar. Callahan adjusted his glasses, his judicial instinct kicking in. The guard's navy blue uniform was immaculate, white gloves spotless, brass buttons gleaming, ceremonial rifle held with precision. But there, just visible beneath the collar, was a small silver cross necklace. Callahan's brow furrowed, a religious symbol here at this monument to all soldiers, regardless of faith. His admiration soured into indignation. This was a violation, he thought, of the neutrality required in such a solemn duty. He stepped closer, weaving through a family snapping photos. The guard, #Corporal Daniel Harper, stood rigid, eyes fixed forward, oblivious to the judge's scrutiny. Callahan's mind raced, recalling cases he'd presided over about religious symbols in public spaces. The military has strict uniform codes, he thought. This can't be allowed. Memories of his mother's unanswered prayers flooded back, hardening his resolve. He straightened his tie, a gesture that had preceded thousands of rulings, and moved directly in front of Harper. "Excuse me, soldier," Callahan began, his voice carrying the authority that silenced courtrooms. "That cross you're wearing, it's a violation of uniform regulations." Harper remained motionless, his face impassive, as if the judge were invisible. The crowd began to notice, their murmurs growing. A young couple slowed their pace, and an elderly woman with a veteran's pin on her jacket, Ellen Carter, watched with concern. "I'm addressing you," Callahan pressed, his tone sharpening. "I'm Judge Robert Callahan of the U.S. District Court. I've ruled on cases involving separation of church and state. That symbol is inappropriate and likely illegal." Harper's discipline held firm, his silence mandated by the tomb guard's code. Callahan's cheeks flushed. He saw defiance in the guard's stillness, not duty. Ellen Carter stepped forward. "Sir, if I may, these guards can't speak while on duty. It's part of their—" "I'm aware of their protocol," Callahan snapped, waving her off as he would an overzealous attorney. "I'm also aware of